He looked awful excited to get where he was going. It is fucking Baltic. So yesterday I'm glad of the old heated grips. It's the first morning it's been necessary. And I'm off to swap this bike for today with a bike that probably doesn't have heated grips. So fantastic. I'm bringing the GS in for a new back tyre, and there's a little repair that has to be done on it under warranty and a few other bits to check. So allegedly they're going to give me a loaner bike, so we'll see what it is they give me. Welcome to Joe Duffy Motorrad, home of motorcycle pornography. Let's see what they give me. My guess is an F800 of some kind. So I was nearly right. There's the F700GS. That'll be my ride for today. I'll take it out for a little spin and have a better look at it. Alright. I guess this is technically a GS. Let me see if I can get it to the petrol station before it completely runs out. So even though this is the F700GS and I'm coming off the R1200GS, I'm not going to compare the two bikes. They're two extremely different bikes. This I would compare more to the R6 or the Diversion or that kind of thing. And so far, having spent 10 minutes on the bike, yeah, the bike that it is, it's a decent, smooth enough ride. I haven't taken it anywhere worth talking about, but the dash is fairly straightforward. RPM counters, analog speedo, little onboard computer to mess with. It's the same on all of this sort of range of bikes, the F650, 700, 800. Again, the one thing that bothers me is I like having a big digital speedo, even if you're able to get it on this as well as the analog one. That'll be my one little niggle with the dash, but apart from that, it's a fairly standard dash for this kind of bike. Alright, getting up close to motorway speeds, and it may be because this is essentially a naked bike, that windscreen isn't really a windscreen. But I can see myself getting very fucking tired on this bike after an hour or so on a motorway. Now, that's true for many bikes, but I'm getting pushed back and having to fight against the wind here. It's very sort of wind blasty. Maybe that's the case with most naked bikes, but you can tell from being on this, it's a very upright kind of a bike. It wants to stay upright, you can tell. It's I don't think it'll be the friendliest to a brand new sort of biker that was trying to get used to cornering and stuff like that. Like, the road that leads nowhere. So let's get off and have a look. Alright, so here it is. 2015 F700GS. It's a tall enough bike, chain drive. It's got a center stand, which is always nice. Brembo brakes, decently set up. A lot of similar hardware on the 1200GS, same indicators, that sort of thing. It's quite tall. which is good. I'm about 5'10", and I find it a lot more comfortable than the ER6, for example. Like the ER6, I'd feel cramped after a little while. This thing, I think you could ride around the city all day on this thing, being about my height, and it wouldn't be too much of a bother to you. The seat is pretty nice. It's got this sort of big ridge on it here that cups your arse quite nicely. I like my arse cupped. It's got a power adapter on here, the regular BMW CAN bus type thing. Heat grips, which I was pleasantly surprised by. You can mess with the traction control. There's hard and soft and normal. It's just the rear shocks that it adjusts, but it's good to have it there. Regular BMW stuff. The BMW headlights work slightly differently. Usually you'd have a switch here on most bikes. BMW, you put on your full beams by doing that, sticking on your full beams. It seems a very nicely put together bike. That's the one thing that stands out with it, is compared to the version, the ER6, other bikes at her slightly below this sort of level of premiumness. It's a very, the materials are nice. It's very solid. There's no sort of flaky bits on it. I've only been riding it for half an hour, but it's very solid ride. It's a very comfortable sort of a ride, especially for a taller person. But it's a very upright kind of a bike. If you were to ask me, would it be an ideal first bike? It wouldn't be an ideal first bike. It'd be fine for somebody who was buying one long term and was a slightly taller person. So it's got a luggage rack there. The BMW luggage sticks on there. I'm not sure what third party stuff you can get. Big ignorant can on it, which I think a lot of people might change. And yeah, looks nice. Reasonably priced for a BMW. It's certainly not a baby version of the R1200GS. It's a completely different bike. It's for a different market, different set of people who would want it. Sitting up on it, you feel like you're sitting on top of it rather than into it, if that makes sense. It feels like the bike is underneath you rather than you sitting into the bike, and that's one of the big differences with me. Tiny little screen, just so they can say it has a screen. Traction control, ABS, you can turn the ABS off as far as I can see there. And yeah, looks pretty nice. Let's ride it again. Engine wise, it's quite quiet. It's not going to be waking up or bothering any grannies, which is fine, depending. You can put an aftermarket can on to make a little noise if you want, but I don't think it's that kind of bike really. If you want to make a load of noise, get a noisy bike. So yeah, 2015 F700GS. I should probably go to work now. Oh, here we go. Let's frighten some grannies. Cheeky filters while I'm at it. Yeah. Seems to be nice and agile anyway, no matter what else you think of it. What a fucking wanker. That was Ball Bag of the Day back there, new YouTube channel feature. It does seem to be nice and cheeky in the city actually. It's a nice city uppy bike like the other GS, but it's physically smaller, and there's enough of a kick in it to sort of get you in and out of scrapes when you're filtering and doing stuff like that. Man, don't know if you can hear that. I think that's the radiator fan. Sounds like a fucking Hoover. Could be time for a bit of Steppenwolf again. Can you feel it? Oh no. I thought we were brothers. Oh well.